Chanuka to all! Welcome to Sonia's kitchen. Today we're going to be making one of Chanuka's best kept secrets. Bobby's Chanuka salad. Let's face it, with all those latkes and donuts, you need to stay focused on your health. Let's get started. Go ahead and put your checked lettuce into the salad bowl, cherry tomatoes, some broccoli, a really good source of fiber. Now for the dressing. That's the tricky part. I like to call it the Chanuka flavor. Go ahead and put a pinch of salt and your oil. Are you feeling that Chanuka spirit? What's that?
Chanuka, Jontef a scheiner, a lustiger, a freilicher, nicht da noch a seiner. Alle Nacht in Bredel spielen mir, so die Käse-Latjes essen mir. Geschwinder sind Kinder, die Chanike Lichterlach.
Welcome to the Cabo Jewish Center's video blog with the holiday of Hanukkah. Now don't you just love this holiday? Okay kids, we're gonna light fires for a week, throw you all a whole bunch of cash and eat oily foods.
I love Hanukkah.
It's like you know that somewhere out there there's a shrink going,
I think that spoiling children like that can only lead to what's called in our profession as ausgedreite dreidel syndrome.
But while Hanukkah can still be enjoyed, let's at least try to make that experience as meaningful as possible. And to do that, we need to seriously figure out what went down over 2,000 years ago that gives us reason to celebrate. So here's the story of Hanukkah in short. The Greeks be like, "Hey Jews, what you gonna do now?" The Jews be like, "Yeah, but you missed my secret stash." Boom! Okay, now, a little less abbreviated. The Jewish people are happily living in Israel some 2,200 years ago, enjoying the liberties of serving God and following His Torah, when slowly but surely, the modern Greek lifestyle begins to creep in and influence the timeless traditions and culture of the Jews. So it's a spiritually fragile time for us because Judaism's focus of serving God is threatened by an evolving modern Greek culture that focuses on serving the body and the self. This isn't a one-size-fits-all! But things finally start getting out of hand when the Greeks start imposing heavy restrictions on Jewish life. Now, let's be clear. The Greeks had no problems with the cultural Judaism of bagels and schmear, Passover at Bubby's, or folk dancing to have an agila. That was all very cultural and fuzzy. Hey guys, these Jewish cultures are awesome. Oh, Bruce, what do you think? Pass me another krepler. What got the Greeks so nervous was the divine, godly parts of Judaism. The fact that we do these things because it connects us to the infinite creator of all, God Almighty, that they couldn't stand. In other words, the Greeks didn't have a problem with you keeping kosher or wrapping black straps on your arm, provided that there was a logical reasoning or culture behind it. Well, it says here that it's kosher, so it must be healthy. You know, studies show that this daily exercise could dramatically reduce high blood pressure. They did have a problem, however, with these mitzvot being done because that's what God Almighty wants us to do. It was the Baruch Atah Shehakol Nihya Bidvaro that they just couldn't stand. So they made our serving God illegal, punishable by death. That is, until Matisyahu had enough and began fighting back at the Greeks with the help of his Maccabees. No, it has nothing to do with the modern Jewish Maccabee Olympic Games, which ironically is a Greek invention, something that the original Maccabees were fighting against. We're talking about those original warriors fighting for the right to be Jewish beyond Knishes and blintzes, to be able to connect to an infinite God, way beyond their physical and intellectual capacities. And by incredible miracles, they defeated the tremendous Greek armies, restoring the temple in Jerusalem, discovering and igniting that tiny cruse of pure undefiled oil, and then watching it shine and shine and shine some more. That's the story of Hanukkah, and its message is so unbelievably relative nowadays as well. In our modern world, fusing God with Jewish life is not always easy. And that's because keeping kosher, Shabbat, wearing a kippah, and sending our children off to study Talmud seem to be so old-fashioned and disconnected from the realities of the progressive times we live in. Vayomer salachti Kidvarecha. Hello? Hello? God? Once again, serving God and a higher purpose is threatened and fighting for survival against serving the self, the body, and the dollar sign. And that's why celebrating Hanukkah is so important. Listen to those whispering Hanukkah candles tell their story. Yo, I think we bought the wrong box of candles. Those flickering flames show us that despite the darkness around us, we can shine bright and remain true to the purpose of our existence, even if it means breaking nature and living a miracle. You know, while cultures rise and fall like my Uncle Irving's blood sugar levels, the only thing that remains truly eternal is our Torah and the valiant commitment to Judaism that's endured for thousands of years. Even cultural Judaism has been modified and restructured so many times over the last century. Where has Yiddish gone? Avos? Whenever did sushi become a staple Shabbat dish? And when on earth did Jewish mothers change their high expectations for their kids' careers? You know, my Steven is such a famous blogger. I even found him on the Google. In your life, take the Hanukkah message and live with it. Don't just limit yourself to a latke and applesauce cultural Judaism. Liberate your soul and your essence by growing in your commitments to a more godly Judaism. And don't take leaps and bounds in your spiritual growth. Rather, whenever you're ready to move upwards, light one more small candle of Jewish commitment. And before you even know it, you'll be a real-life modern-day Maccabee, bringing light to yourself, your surroundings, and the entire world. Happy Hanukkah, and don't forget to be thankful for all the blessings in your life. And my Jeffrey, he has over 300 followers on the Twitter.